Welcome to Disney A, the Canadian-themed Disney travel podcast. We're your host. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Krysta.
So this week, it's getting real close to Canada Day.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Right? Didn't you feel like... Oh, I was going to make a comment about hockey, but we're not talking about hockey right now.
Well, it does feel like we should play a hockey game
right?
now. Yeah. That's usually when we hear the national anthem.
Yeah. It's like in the States, a lot of people joke that it's like... And they want to say, like, play ball.
Play ball, yeah.
Yeah, no, we have hockey.
Yeah, we have hockey, or, like, winning gold medals at the Winter Olympics.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Should be a podium or something.
But this week we're actually going to talk about Canada Day itself and how to celebrate Disney style.
Woo!
I'm not sure what that means, but you're going to tell me.
Yes, I am. It involves Canadian movies, mostly.
Oh, okay.
Mostly that's it.
Interesting. All right, but before we get to all that good old Canadian stuff, we do certain things every week.
Yep, sure do.
And so, Krysta,
yes.
Tell me what your nerd thing is this week.
We are recording this on Saturday. And yesterday was my last day of school. And I am so happy.
No more teachers' dirty looks.
Exactly.
Coming from you.
Well, I mean, like...
The teacher.
The teacher, yeah. Not towards students.
Yeah.
You get them all. No, but remember we talked before about my dirty looks quota per year and how I use them all up in June. June's almost over. You're almost safe. Till September.
Wait. September's not a new year.
I operate on the school calendar.
Oh, my goodness. No more dirty looks. It's not allowed. It's in the song. Alice Cooper told me so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm super excited that school's officially done. I'm on summer vacation. Teaching during a pandemic has been a special experience.
Woo-woo. Go Zoom teaching.
And then back in person, and then back on Zoom, and then back in person, and then back some kind of weird hybrid. And
I feel bad for the kids. That's tough.
It really is. And honestly, the kids are, well, because I teach senior high, a lot of them aren't great with it, but they're pretty resilient compared to, like, more adults, quite frankly.
Well, they're used to change more than adults are, right?
Exactly. I remember the second time we went this year to back at home, I asked the kids how they were doing with it because we had announced it, and then it was going to be like 2 days later, and the one girl who really doesn't do well, she has a lot of anxiety and everything like that, she's like, I mean, like, what else is new? I'm like, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm really excited. It's summertime. I've never been so exhausted at the end of the school year, I don't think, so... I'm really, really happy. Today I laid in the sun and read a book. That was pretty much it.
Was it a good book?
Yes, well, I finished one book and started a new one. I was very happy.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you? What's your nerd thing?
Well, yesterday Mario Golf came out,
yes.
which is a great summer video game.
It's true.
And we played some Mario Golf.
That was a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah, I was bad at mostly.
Actually, you were pretty good. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was bad at the speed thing.
Well, that took some getting used to. Whacking your ball and running after it is kind of weird, but...
everyone was at the same time, and it was really confusing, and it was chaotic, and my brain does not work that way right now.
It was fun. You had fun.
Oh, I have another nerd thing. So you know how I have 3 Nuimos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Winnie the Pooh one.
Uh-huh.
And I have a Piglet one.
Yeah.
And I have an Eeyore one.
Yeah, there seems like something missing from this list.
One is missing.
Yeah.
I feel like I should go get another one.
Right.
I feel like I should get a Tigger.
Okay.
So I'm excited about it.
Okay, that's a future nerd thing.
But I'm excited about it, and so that is a current nerd thing as well.
Ah, gotcha.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, what's your other nerd thing?
I was going to say, as a bonus nerd thing, we both got our second dose of the vaccine
that is
on Friday.
So exciting. Yeah, yesterday was a good day.
It was a pretty good day. Busy day. We've escaped any of the harsher side effects.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of sore arm.
Sore arm, a little headachy, nothing crazy.
And 2 weeks, and we're going to go hit the town.
You bet. We're going camping in 2 weeks.
Oh.
That's
right.
The opposite of the town.
Yes.
It's going up.
Go away from the people.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me. That's pretty awesome and really exciting. I was so happy to get the jab.
Exactly.
Another thing we talk about top of show is what you're currently drinking. So, Brandon, what are you drinking?
Well, it is currently, we're in the midst, or at the beginning of a major heat wave.
Right.
It does get hot in Canada, let me tell you.
But only, it's just for like a couple months, but it gets
It
really,
can,
really
yeah.
hot.
So yeah, we're dealing with some pretty extreme temperatures. So I got a nice cold gin and rhubarb drink.
Yes, and the rhubarb is actually from my rhubarb plant in the backyard.
Yeah, all natural backyard rhubarb, which is very Canadian.
That actually is very Canadian, isn't it? I didn't think of that, but it totally is. Yeah, we get short, hot, dry summer.
Yeah.
Basically is Canada.
Yeah.
And a month ago it was snowing.
Literally.
Yeah, but
literally.
it's very hot right now, like heat warnings and such for like the next week. So I'm glad you have something refreshing.
Yeah. What about you?
You made me an iced coffee with stuff.
With stuff.
I don't even know what's all in it. I think cream, and you said schnapps?
Yeah, there's some butter ripple schnapps in there, and like almond milk.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yum.
So you'll be nice and happy.
Yeah, I am nice and happy. Did I mention school's out?
Right. But like, I mean, the caffeine.
Oh, yeah, that
and
too.
All that, yeah.
And then another thing we talk about, top of show, is Loki, most recent episode, gut reaction, spoiler free. What are you thinking?
So we're halfway done already, which is...
I don't know whether I'm upset about that or kind of like just invested in it.
Yeah, it's going by real fast, which these things tend to do. I'm not entirely sure I'm really sold on the whole Wednesday release pattern.
Right?
Which unfortunately it seems like they're going to that full time now. Like every original show is going to be released on a Wednesday.
I kind of liked it Friday
I liked Friday. You're kind of forced to watch it on Wednesday to avoid any spoilers.
Yeah.
And like even so, people watch it Tuesday at midnight and spoilers start coming out real fast.
It's true.
It's tough, and like those midnight watching for a 9 to 5 slob like myself is a little tougher as well. So that's one thing.
I don't know. I didn't mind when they said it was just Loki. You know, he's a trickster, whatever. It's going to be weird and different. But now when it sounds like they're moving towards that for everything, I'm kind of...
Yeah, no,
Why?
I think I preferred Friday, but whatever. That's one thing. I was expecting Loki to be more like WandaVision with all the fan theories and stuff, and it's starting to provide that a little bit. This last episode, I think, has spawned quite a few fan theories. Maybe not quite as detailed and wild as WandaVision, but there's definitely some weird stuff going on, I think.
Yeah. Do you like it, though?
Oh, I love it. Everybody in it is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's fun and cool, and it's going to be sad in 3 episodes when it's done.
I know. It feels like it's going by very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know, like more so than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Which is weird because that was only 6 episodes as well.
Know.
But
I don't know if it was because this one was so anticipated.
It's super anticipated, and it's doing a lot of heavy lifting with like world building and stuff as well. Whereas Falcon and Winter Soldier was smaller scale, simpler story.
That's true.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I agree with you. I really like it, and just it's going by really fast, and it's really cool.
It's
really cool.
It's really cool, and they're putting to use. I'm like 95% sure they're using the Mandalorian newfangled green screen technology. I call it green screen. There's no green screen. It's like the projection, the projection dome or whatever it is.
We talked about that during our that was season 2 of The Mandalorian. We talked about that a little bit.
We probably talked about it on season 1 as well. I mean, like
that
was a big thing for The Mandalorian to look like Star Wars with a more TV-sized budget,
right?
And I'm pretty sure they're using it in Loki. Like this last episode looked very much the same style. It's like a matte painting on steroids, basically, and it's really cool. So
yeah, yay technology.
Yeah, no, it's great that you can have something that looks good that doesn't cost $10 million.
That's how we get nice things.
Yeah.
Cool, and that takes us to the news. Disney A News Update. Every week I say, man, lots of news this week, and guess what?
You could just record that.
I could just have that as at the end of the little news. I'll just be like, wow, lots of news this week.
Wow, lots of news this week.
Okay.
Pull your string.
Okay, ready? There's a snake in my boot.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. That's lots of news this week. All right, so Disneyland, fully vaccinated cast members no longer need to wear masks outdoors. Of course, you still can if you choose to. And this is just outdoors, but it's another sign of things moving towards normalcy.
And that's nice because they'd actually check the employees, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Other Disneyland news, Toontown Gag Factory and Five and Dime have both been demolished. Now...
Kablamo!
Exactly. This happened in the middle of the day with guests in the park.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anything like this happening.
That might be a little traumatizing to children, I would say.
Well, that too. But, like, that's weird, right?
It is a little weird.
I mean, you would hear construction sounds, but they'd have huge scrims going up, and they would never do anything on that scale during the daytime. So, I don't know. Like, there's some conjecture as to, does that mean that they're speeding ahead?
Because what they're doing this destruction for is to build the entrance to the new Mickey's Runaway Railway ride, which has apparently been pushed back to 2023, but some people think that this might indicate that they're going to push it up.
Right.
So that it'll open earlier, maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe trying to meet their original deadline of 2022.
Right. And, like, because, like, the ride itself, the ride building is finished and all the work is inside, so no one really knows what the progress is like anymore.
Right. And with the big sign on the front, what giant building? Which I found clever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, and I'm kind of inclined to, as someone who doesn't know anything, see why that conjecture makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's very un-Disney-like to do that. I mean,
also, they probably just figured that no one was going to go to Toontown anyway, because it sucks.
Wow. If you haven't heard Brandon's theories on Toontown, you must be new. Okay, very quickly, there's a new Shang-Chi trailer that we have not yet watched.
We should have watched it. Dang it.
I literally just thought about it now. Anyway, if you haven't seen it,
I think
go
there's
watch
some
it.
I think there's some big stuff in there. More connective tissue to MCU being shown in said trailer. We should have definitely watched it before recording.
Oops.
Anyway,
okay.
we can talk about it again next week when we've actually seen it.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, speaking of movies coming out, well, much further down the road, there has a Tower of Terror new movie in development. This is not the 1997 Kristen Dunst, Steve Guttenberg one. This now, though, we have a name attached to it, and that is a big name, Scarlett Johansson.
She's gonna play the elevator.
She might.
She has that kind of range.
It's true. She's that good. But she's going to produce it and star in it. Apparently, it's the elevator.
Cool. I mean, if they follow the plot of the actual Twilight Zone thing, where it's old Hollywood and stuff, she does a good old Hollywood. So
she really does.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, she has a wide range. She could do whatever, but she really does do that kind of style. Suits her.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 Oscar nominees, 3 maybe.
A really good actress. And
well, she's awesome. And one of my favorite actresses right now. And I'm so ridiculously excited for Black Widow. Oh, my God. Oh, we should start a day countdown. Except by the next time we record, it'll be here. So never mind.
So this is going to release on...
the 28th.
The 28th, and that comes out on the 9th. So
Math.
It's real close.
It does seem like Disney's really interested in attractions as movies now.
Well, yeah, with Jungle Cruise coming out and a new Tower of Terror movie and rumblings of a new Haunted Mansion movie as well.
Oh, yeah. That's been in discussion for a while.
Which is interesting because these are all original rides, so they're going to make movies based on the original rides, whereas a lot of their rides now are based on actual existing properties. They've gotten away from that whole original concept, which is kind of too bad, I think. Like, you should have a mix.
Yeah, I think a mix is good. I do understand. I remember when I was a kid, like really young, though, going to Disneyland, and before I knew anything about any attraction, I was more drawn to it if I knew like a character from it or something. So
for kids,
I get that if trying to appeal to like the child audience. So that's why I think you're right. A mix.
No, it should be a mix. They should have some original concepts, though. I get that that's a little tougher, but they're also more timeless that way.
It's true. Look at the first couple rides everyone wanted to experience when Disneyland reopened were Pirates and Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Like 2 of the most popular ones.
Yeah, they're classic,
so.
and like the popularity of the movie that they're based on isn't going to wane and go, oh, that's too bad. Like
Splash Mountain.
Well, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Or look at something like the way they banked on Dinosaur. right? Just having a dinosaur themed stuff was cool, but when they based on the movie, then it's a little bit more problematic.
Dinosaur is a perfect example. You put all this money into a ride based on this movie that you want to be big, and then the movie flops, and then you're like, oh. Oops.
Yeah. And that's, I think, a problem that Universal is going to be experiencing.
Universal, that's their main problem, is they keep making these things based on new movies, like
that
brands,
no one's going to remember in 10, 20 years.
Like Life of Pets. That ride looks super cute, but I don't know. It might be okay because it's dogs, and dogs are everybody.
Yeah, but
likes
it's not
dogs,
going to be. People aren't going to ride it because I remember this movie and love this movie. It's not like E.T. here or anything like that. It's going to be like, look, puppies,
which they got rid of.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm not saying only keep old stuff and don't ever change anything, but I do think Universal is going to be running into that problem. I think it already has been running into that problem.
Yeah. Yeah, they're lucky that Harry Potter has some staying power.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. And speaking of new movies, we have yet another live-action Disney film. Well, this was announced before, but we have more details about it now. So we knew there was a new Snow White coming out.
Oh.
We talked about that during our live-action episode, just the list of ones that were projected or announced.
I must have blocked it from my mind.
You must have.
Because they've done a Snow White live-action already, Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah, that wasn't a Disney property.
No, it wasn't a Disney, but it's been done.
Yeah, exactly.
A gritty reboot of Snow White.
You get a gritty reboot.
Yeah.
You get a gritty reboot.
So it's interesting that they'd go this route.
Well, they did Cinderella already, and Aurora's done with Maleficent, right? So let's go. Who's our other classic Disney princess? Go for the original.
It's going to be a bunch of dwarves in their cabin sitting around.
I guess so. But, I mean, if you look at the list of the ones that have been announced or details come out, basically they're making their way through all the classic movies. We have Pinocchio coming. Dumbo's already been done.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically free money. People are going to want to go see them.
I don't particularly like the live actions, and I will watch this. So, yeah. This one is called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and it's now starring, we have a Snow White, Rachel Ziegler, I don't know how to pronounce that properly. And it begins production in 2022, so it's a long time coming, but it is there.
Huh. That would mean more to me if I knew who that was, but I don't. So, okay. Cool.
I saw a picture of her. She looks very Snow White-like.
Oh, well, that's good casting then?
I guess so. A couple other Disneyland items. Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer's Island, now open.
Things just keep opening.
They keep opening.
So that would mean that the raft to get there is also
exactly, and
also
I believe
open,
the canoes too.
Oh, the canoes.
Mm-hmm. If they aren't, they're very soon, because last I saw, they had them out and about with cast members. The last time I was in Disneyland, last couple times, Pirate's Lair had just opened one of the times before, and we spent a bit of time on Tom Sawyer's Island. We had 5 or 6 day park hopper tickets, so we had more time to not just run from attraction to attraction. It's a really cool place to just wander around and do stuff.
Well,
I liked it better when it was Tom Sawyer's Island.
When we actually get to go,
yes,
I'll have to go there because I have never been to the island. So
it's very obstacle course, running around, exploring kind of thing.
Yeah, I've seen pictures and clips of it and stuff.
Yeah,
and it looks fine, but yeah, you need a longer stay.
Yeah,
get your fill of the big stuff.
I wouldn't, if I was only there for a couple days, I wouldn't make that a priority or anything like that, but it was really cool to spend an afternoon when it's really hot.
Yeah.
Because they have all the trees and everything in there. It's kind of cool. Also, speaking of Disneyland Resort, there is a new photo op at Avengers Campus with Black Panther.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
And I don't know if you saw this or not. Concept art for the new e-ticket attraction. I haven't seen the much of the art, just that for Avengers Campus was revealed. So Disney's Hotel New York Art of Marvel just opened in Disneyland Paris, and the art was on display there. Not much is known or really shown, other than it's Avengers focused.
Yeah,
looks very Battle of New York-y.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I don't know. It would be all speculation, but it's going to be in the building where the Quinjet sits right now. And yeah, no, that'll be good. Get some more stuff to do in Avengers Campus.
Exactly.
Even though it looks really cool right now, it's just like Galaxy's Edge opened with one big ride and kind of felt a little empty without that second anchor point, I think.
Yeah. This is very much following the same plan, the same pacing and things like that.
And,
so
I mean, Adventures Campus is a little different as well because it does have the Mission Breakout, which existed before those,
which would
so
be
it doesn't
considered
really,
an e-ticket. I think
it doesn't really count to me because it existed before. It existed before,
yeah.
so
that is a little bit different. So if I'm not counting that, Spider-Man and Smuggler's Run will both be very cool attractions, but they wouldn't be like an e-ticket attraction,
right?
Whereas this new one,
they'd be what, a D ticket?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and both interactive as well.
Yeah,
so
very much following the same
parallels
formula.
Are there.
Definitely.
In spades.
Like you said, though, we do have, of course, Mission Breakout, which would be considered e-ticket, but no one's counting that.
Well, no.
And just one last thing. This is going to come out on Monday, but Sunday, maybe you watch the Pride concert. This Is Me, Pride Celebration Spectacular. If you did watch it, jump on our Instagram or something like that and let us know what you thought of it. I'll probably be watching it.
Yeah, we talked about this last week.
Yeah, just that it was coming up and everything. Yeah. So just curious to hear what you think about it.
You researched some of the guests that are going to be on there, and you're a little more excited now.
Well, I'm curious to see what happens now. So see what they do with it. I like their concerts they put on for different things, so I'm sure I will like it, and will probably get teary-eyed if any Disney classic song, quite frankly. We had our grad this week, and I think I cried like 5 times. I've been a ball of emotions, so stop shaking your head at me. So I'm sure watching this will have made me tear up. But we'll see. Let us know what you thought of it. If you're listening to us on Magic of the Mouse Radio, we're going to take a little bit of a commercial break. And if you're not listening to us on Magic of the Mouse Radio, you should also listen to Magic of the Mouse Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Canadian Corner. So our main topic is all patriotic for us.
For us, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're Canadian.
Because we're Canadian.
And you want to talk about Canada.
Yeah.
Because it's Canada Day.
Yay.
Because we signed some papers a long time ago.
Yeah, that's basically it.
That's why our national holiday is on the 1st, like proper polite people.
Yeah. It's true.
Not some random day. First.
Exactly.
Make it nice and orderly.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
completely
good.
organized.
Yeah.
Signed and dated and notarized and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd be remiss not to mention that Canada Day in Canada is looking different this year for a lot of people in a lot of places. First of all, there is COVID going on still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But secondly, we have a history with residential schools here, and there have been some discoveries of graves that are literally happening right now.
Yeah.
So people in to honor that have decided either to change their Canada Day celebrations or to have them look a little different.
Yeah, because these atrocities happened under the Canadian government.
Exactly. And recently.
The Catholic schools that they stayed at, and they don't really feel like celebrating Canada as much right now. So,
exactly.
It's a bit of a down
So,
thing,
if you are in Canada and you are choosing not to celebrate Canada Day out of respect for this, we totally understand that and see that, and this is not meant to be disrespectful at all.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are wanting to inject a little bit of Disney Canadiana into your day, or if you're in the States and you're like, I don't know, let's do something, eh?
Yay.
We have some ideas for you. So, first of all, if you go on to Disney Plus, there's a Canadian collection.
Canadian collection.
It's called Oh Canada Collection. Weird title.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's separated into 3 different sections. I don't have them all listed here. Well, I have all the animated ones listed here, but the first one is starring Canadians, and I just wanted to mention some of these bigger ones. So, the first one, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or basically anything with Sharon Carter in it. Sharon Carter is played by Emily Van Camp, who is Canadian.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Big Shot, which is a Disney Plus original, as well as Clouds, which is a Disney Plus original. Both star Canadians. Deadpool, this is the big one.
Yeah.
Anything with Ryan Reynolds in it, because Ryan Reynolds is Canadian.
Very Canadian, although I think he lives in California now.
He does now, but he's still, proudly Canadian. He talks about being Canadian all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. So Deadpool's the big one. The Proposal is also on this list. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Sideways, which is 18A, and an excellent, excellent movie.
I love that movie.
It's so good. It's so underrated.
Yeah. Is it Sandra Oh that's Canadian in
Yes,
that?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which, yeah. There might be more, but anyway, that's why I was assuming she was. Because, of course, on the list it doesn't say who is Canadian. You have to, like, just know or find, right?
Know, yeah.
Okay, so some of these are going to be some overlap with the same actor in it. So X-Men, for example.
Oh, I'm sure there's a few. I mean, that's an ensemble.
Many. Yeah. X-Men Origins for Wolverine.
Well, I'm sure... I've never actually watched X-Men Wolverine Origins, but I'm sure it takes place in Canada as well, because at least that's... Wolverine's origin story is supposed to be...
It's supposed to be, yeah.
In Canada.
So there's a list of here ones that were filmed in Canada as well. 24, the show. MASH, the show. Castle. Oh, Castle.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion is, we've heard speak before as well, and he's very proudly Canadian. He talks about it all the time, yes.
Yeah, he's from just north of us, actually, up in Edmonton.
Yeah, very close. Yeah, same province, so that's pretty cool. Avengers...
What's her face is Canadian.
Is it the same one from How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah. Yeah, what's her face?
Kobe Smulders.
Robin Sparkles.
She's
going to take us to the mall because she's a Canadian pop star.
So yes, How I Met Your Mother is also on this list. Glee, Lion King 2019, Star Wars Episodes 2 and 3.
Hayden Christensen.
Exactly. Yeah. So soon, Hayden Christensen is going to be in another TV show.
Obi-Wan.
So we'll be able to add this to the list.
Yeah.
Father of the Bride, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, and the 2019 for Aladdin. So both live-action Disney movies from 2019 apparently starred Canadians. I'm not sure who, but
interesting.
Yeah, the one I always think of course, I mean, we've got a lot of Avengers on this list. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to be able to add another one from the MCU to this list.
Yes, go ahead.
Shang-Chi.
Yep.
The main guy in that is Asian Canadian actor.
Yep.
Very proudly Canadian, and was like on a pretty well-known Canadian sitcom that's also available on Netflix, I believe.
That's true. So, okay, Canadian sitcoms, there are some gems in there. I think the one that
really got big, of course, is Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, so if there are a lot of people listening probably have seen Schitt's Creek. So if you've seen it and you like it and you're like, this is amazing, that's just Canadian humor and Canadian television for you. Yeah. And starring awesome Canadian actors, by the way. So if you like that, Corner Gas is an excellent Canadian sitcom.
Little bit older.
It's older, but it was the first one kind of in this vein that did really well, but definitely super Canadian. This one, which is Kim's Convenience. That's where the actor from Shang-Chi was on for a while. And again, quite successful. And if you like Schitt's Creek, you should probably check out these other two, because you'll probably like them as well.
They are a similar vein of humor, for sure.
Yeah, that kind of dry humor. Did you know, speaking of Canadian humor, we've been rated as the darkest humor?
Yes,
as a country?
I did know that, yeah.
You might have been the one who told me that, actually.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But that makes sense. We have the dry humor of the Brits and the sarcastic humor of the Americans all rolled into one.
Yep. And we enjoy a good dark joke.
And self-deprecating as well.
Oh, definitely. Definitely that.
But so if you like that style of humor and that style of show, check these two out as well. Yeah, so we can add Shang-Chi to this list. Okay, so we also have ones filmed in Canada.
Which, I mean, this is going to be Disney-focused, but this is a pretty long list, because, like, a lot of stuff gets filmed in Canada.
Right, so this isn't everything off the list, just like the starring Canadians wasn't everything off the list.
Yeah, and every once in a while, you'll be watching a movie, and it's supposed to be, like, in New York or something, you'll be like, hey, that's Vancouver, or, hey, that's downtown Toronto, like... It's funny.
Absolutely. Okay, so first of all, we have Mighty Ducks Game Changers. We actually just watched this. It's great.
It's better than it had any right to be.
We knew it was coming out, so we had watched the movies in one sitting. I don't necessarily recommend doing that.
No, the Mighty Ducks movies are actually pretty bad. Like, the first one is cheesy and lame, but, like, in an endearing way. And then the second one is terrible. And then the third one's actually a little better than it should be.
Probably.
For the third one. Like, if I was going to rank them, I would probably say that the third one's the best one.
Technically. But the first one has the nostalgia cheese factor.
Yeah. Anyway. The Mighty Ducks
have an episode about it if you want to go listen.
Mighty Ducks movie's not great, but the show is actually pretty good.
Really good. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. So that, shockingly, filmed in Canada. Weird. There's a couple of ones where you're like, of course this was filmed in Canada. X-Files.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was filmed in Vancouver.
You know what? I just want to point this out. A lot of Disney Plus original shows, almost all of them, filmed in Canada.
Yeah, well, they have a lot of tax breaks, so it
makes sense.
Cheap place to film, for sure.
Yeah, and case in point, Godmothered. Again, that was better than I was expecting. So that was a movie that came out around Christmas time last year. And Noelle, which came out the year before, was one of the original things on Disney Plus in 2019 when it came out. That was also filmed in Canada. I mean, I guess if you want wintry scenes, that makes sense.
Yeah, except when you are Leonardo DiCaprio and you come to Calgary during a Chinook and think that it's blamed on global warming.
Yeah, and we're not saying the global warming doesn't happen, but that's not the same as a Chinook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. The Shape of Water. Filmed in Canada.
See, I did not know that one.
That was cool.
That's interesting.
That's a great movie, too. Flora and Ulysses. Again, that was cuter than I was expecting it to be. Yeah. Disney Plus original. Juno and The Descendants. Ice Princess. Wow, shocking. A movie about skating.
Figure skating, yeah. Okay.
I love Ice Princess. Camp Rock, which I actually never saw.
I don't want to.
I feel like I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, well, you can do that this summer when you're...
Yeah, it's a summery type show,
not
I think.
doing anything.
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
To Go, I don't know how to say that, but it's another Disney Plus original.
Isn't that about the dog?
Yes.
Okay.
The dog sledding race, which makes sense. It was filmed in Canada. Clouds, again, which we talked about, starring a Canadian. That also a Disney Plus original, also filmed in Canada. And there's one
You missed one on this list.
Yes, I saw it on there and I meant to write it down and I just didn't.
Yeah, so the Second Born Royals, which was another Disney Plus original.
Yeah.
Not great.
No.
But we were watching it and they I can't remember. It was like a bank heist. No. What the heck?
They're supposed to have superpowers, basically.
Yeah, no, but they were breaking into somewhere.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah. We were looking. We're like,
because they literally used the Hockey Hall of Fame building, which is an old bank. So it's a cool building and it has a big stained glass dome on it and stuff. But it really took me out of the movie, which I mean really broke my heart because it was such Oscar-worthy cinema.
But they were running down the street and we're like, they're in Toronto. Oh, look, no, that's Toronto.
Yeah,
that's definitely Toronto.
Yeah. They did something in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. So it's like a huge vault where they have these different things hidden. And
super powered
there's
stuff
different,
or whatever?
Yeah, and then they also had a prisoner in there.
Oh, okay. That's what it... Yes, okay. I vaguely remember now. It does make sense. It's an old bank vault, and it's a cool building, so...
But they didn't really make much attempt to hide that they were in Toronto.
No. They had to move the Stanley Cup, I guess.
It's just out of shot.
Yeah.
And then the last category is just called animation. So we don't really know how this pertains to Canada. We're assuming that offices or some facet of it.
The director or
something. But these
voice actors or something. Yeah.
Because these do not, one of these takes place in Canada and the rest I don't know the connection. But Luca is new to this list because it wasn't on here when I looked before.
I'm gonna guess voice actor
right.
or director or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Toy Story 4. I know what the animation connection is for this one. Duke Kaboom.
Duke Kaboom.
Remember how we Imagineered Disneyland Canada? We need a Duke Kaboom meet and greet and a stunt show.
A Duke Kaboom stunt show. That would be amazing.
Right? Fantastic. Zootopia, Cars, Brother Bear, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute, Up, Finding Dory, Horton Hears a Who, and Frankenweenie.
Okay.
Yeah, those are all under the... Now, that is the animation category, so I don't know why they're all on there, but they all have a Canadian connection, so... Because reasons. Brother Bear, though, does make sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Brother Bear actually takes place
if you're gonna talk about Canada Disney, that's gotta be pretty much at the top of your list.
Yeah, your only other one is really Duke Kaboom as a character.
Right.
Who's played by Keanu Reeves.
Who is Canadian.
Who is Canadian as well, yes. But Brother Bear, it doesn't specifically say where it is, but it's supposed to take place in Canada. I mean, you have
it's
Canadian characters. And
it's North America, but it seems like farther north to me. So
well, and then you have your Bob and Doug McKenzie,
right,
who are Canadian comedic characters.
The moose in that movie are based on, speaking of Canadian comedy, old school SCTV, Second City Television, which
would be like SNL.
SNL, which did find some success down south.
Yeah.
So if you're older, you might have heard of them, but Bob and Doug McKenzie, that's what the moose in Brother Bear were based off of.
Do you know which one I realized wasn't on the list but really needs to be? Disney Plus. You're missing some on your collection here. Starring Canadians. Where the heck's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Rick Moranis is...
Speaking of SCTV and people who found success down there.
He was either Bob or Doug McKenzie.
Yeah, well, that's why I was thinking of it. But yeah, so they were these characters who wore toques, and they just were like
drank beers,
and they were every stereotype of Canadian you could possibly
Hosers,
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Moose are based on those characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to celebrate Canada Day, watch any of these movies. We recommend The Most Canadian, Brother Bear, and I guess Toy Story 4?
Yeah, Toy Story 4 is pretty good.
Or Ice Princess, Mighty Ducks Game Changers if you want to watch a TV show, or anything with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, put some Deadpool on there.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's some good dark humor.
Oh, yeah. Only if you're only 18A. So, if not, watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And yeah.
Oh, that's just a good movie. Yeah, you should watch that.
Period. We talked about that just in our most recent 80s episode. So, but let's say that you're lucky enough to be down in Disney World. Okay?
I am not.
No, we are.
Oh, no, wait. I'm supposed to say I am. Yay, I'm in Disney World.
Good job. That's exciting.
Yay.
So, let's say you're hanging out in Epcot.
Oh, okay. If I have to, I guess.
No, Epcot's cool. Okay. I think. I don't know. So, next to the UK Pavilion, you can find the Canada Pavilion. It is designed to remind guests of Canada's outdoors. It includes a canyon, a waterfall, gardens, a pool with fountains, and totem poles.
So, wait.
Yeah.
Are you saying that they have rocks and trees?
And trees and rocks.
And water.
In Canada.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, that's cool.
That's basically Canadian Canada. Yeah, that's fair. Further into the pavilion, beyond the rustic log cabins, there's a small thoroughfare designed to represent both British and French influences and heritage through its buildings. Apparently, one side is French and one is British.
Right.
There's like chateaus and cottages.
They have some like Quebec Old Quarter, Ottawa Old Quarter style buildings.
That's really cool.
And for the French side, and then they have like the forests and trees and British Columbia, Alberta stuff on the other side. So I don't know.
And you were like,
yeah, whatever.
Looks like home.
Apparently they got rid of the beaver tails.
They did, yeah. I was going to talk about that. Well, they got rid of the cart. I don't know if you can get them anywhere else.
No, I don't think
that's
so.
Too bad.
I mean, you can't get beaver tails, although I think in Waterton you can get beaver tails.
Yum. We should go to Waterton and get beaver tails. The main attraction is Canada Far and Wide, which is a circle vision 360-degree movie of Canada's cities, scenery, and people. Did you watch this?
So this attraction has been there since it opened.
Yes, I'm going to talk about that too.
And it's gone through several incarnations. So I saw the incarnation that was there when I went in 2000.
Okay, that's the original.
Right.
So that
it was a little dated. So yeah.
So it was originally filmed in 1979.
Yeah, it looked like it. It was cool. Like the theater, like a 360 theater, is pretty cool.
So I actually saw America the Beautiful the very first time I went to Disneyland, and the second time I went to Disneyland, and I have distinct memories of that. So I guess it would be the same kind of idea. It's
just a movie theater, and you stand there, and it's projected on the circle that's around you, and you can turn and look, and then the buffalo come running at you or whatever. Like it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's different now.
Yeah, they refilmed it.
Yeah. So the Canadian Tourism Commission lobbied for years to get Disney to change the movie, partly because of outdated stereotypes.
Well, so. The thing with Epcot, it was supposed to be kind of like a World's Fair where they got money from all the different governments of the different countries.
Yeah, except.
But they ran into problems with that because they wanted to be super stereotypical, and the Canadian government was like, I don't think we want to pay for an exhibit all about how we're just a bunch of dumb lumberjacks.
Fair.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yeah. So when that happened, Disney was like, well, then we're not going to have it. And the Canadian government was like, okay. Okay. But so then Disney was like, oh, no, wait, we'll still do that. But then you don't get any say, so they included all the stereotypical stuff. So the Canadian government was like, yeah, we're not touching this with a 10-foot pole, and they really wanted to change it. It took till 2007 for them to actually change it.
Yeah.
There was an updated edition opened with a new host, Canadian actor Martin Short, another Canadian treasure. Have you noticed that a lot of our famous people are all comedians?
Oh, yeah. We put out comedians like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Per capita, our comedians are way up there. Yeah.
I forgot to add Me, Myself, and Irene is on now. That's on the list, too, because Jim Carrey, yeah. We got all these Canadians, basically, who are comedians. Everyone just laughs at everything. It's how you stay warm.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point.
But it's updating even more. Canada Far and Wide, open in 2020.
Oh,
great timing.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that was great timing. So I don't know what is different between the 2007 and the 2021.
No one went far and wide in Canada in 2020. I'm just saying.
It's true. So the Canadian Pavilion opened in 1982.
That's old.
Besides the Circle Vision, Canada Far and Wide, the other big draw is the steakhouse. I'm bad at French. You took French in school. I did not.
Le cellier. It means the cellar.
Yes, and it's supposed to look like a wine cellar. It's steak, seafood, Canadian wine, and beer. And it's modeled to look like Chateau Laurier in Ottawa. It actually is a cellar underneath the chateau, which is called Hotel du Canada. It's a clever name.
Which means the Hotel of Canada.
That makes sense. So basically, the big draw here is food.
Yeah, and just like very stereotypical Canadian steak and seafood, surf and turf type of thing. Yeah. Delicious Alberta beef and some Atlantic lobster, surf and turf.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
The former home of the Celtic rock band Off Kilter, which I'm sad isn't there anymore because that sounds cool.
That sounds pretty sweet, yeah.
Right? They apparently also used to play in the UK pavilion because, Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It used to be North American animal characters from Brother Bear and also not Pocahontas character, but Miko and Percy. Used to be able to find them there, but they haven't appeared in the pavilion for a few years.
Yeah, wow.
Which is sad. I've never met Miko or Percy. I love Miko.
He's a trash panda.
So much worse.
So much worse.
Also, there's a popcorn cart, which I thought was funny. It also sells beer, which I was like, Moosehead Lager.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, that is a Canadian beer. Yeah. It's not like up there, but at least it's not like Molson Canadian.
Right,
which is like...
It was like, popcorn cart sells beer. Also popcorn, but, and then there's a couple stores. Northwest Mercantile sells wilderness-themed Christmas ornaments, a variety of animal plush, maple syrup, of course it does,
right.
and a selection of Canadian wines and ice wines.
So Canada is very famous for their ice wines.
And, I like ice wine.
Oh.
I really like ice wine. It is expensive and super sweet.
Do you know why it's so expensive? The thing with ice wine is you have to actually let the grapes freeze, but not too much on the vine.
They have a very tiny window.
It's a super risky process, and your whole crop can be ruined in a matter of hours. And, so that's why it's super expensive. But it's
so good.
It's very, very sweet.
Mm-hmm. It's a dessert wine.
It is a dessert wine, and, like, not to go with dessert. It is dessert itself.
Yes, exactly.
But Canadian ice wine is very famous and
very delicious.
Very delicious.
Mm-hmm. And yes, of course, there's the maple syrup thing. They sell maple syrup.
Yeah.
So that's the big merch place. And it is in the Trading Post building, which is designed to look like a traditional West Coast native longhouse. Then there's the wood cart in the promenade, which sells plushes, flags. There's engraving. The entertainment is the Canadian Holiday Voyageurs.
Oh, that's cool. I always like
Voyageurs. I like Voyageurs.
I've always liked the Voyageurs. They're
cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what this entertainment is.
I'm gonna guess fiddle music. Judging from.
I always thought the Voyageurs were a cool thing. They put on their red belt and just paddled around Canada.
They're very cool.
Yeah.
They're kind of badass, actually.
Yeah, some badass dudes, for sure. Yeah.
So that's a holiday one. And then there's Alberta Bound. Hey, Alberta.
Mm.
And that is a Canadian country pop folk music type thing. It's mostly folk music, it sounds like. And I found this interesting. So it opened with 2 fiberglass totem poles, just general symbolism. And then there was a third wooden one added in 1998 by an Alaskan artist. Yep.
Makes sense, yeah.
Which depicted Raven tricking the Sky Chief to release sun, moon, and stars. And that was actually carved in front of live guests for 2 months. Which I think is cool. Why did they get an Alaskan artist to do this?
I mean, Alaska is... It should probably be part of Canada because it's like
it's right there. First of all,
it's an extension of that geography and is like above it's not connected to the States and like back in the day the culture would have been like the Inuit and stuff would have been up there. They would have the same
there
culture.
Are Canadian artists who can do this.
They would have the same culture of the totem poles and stuff, whatever. So I guess that's just where that artist was from.
Well, anyway, in 2017, Disney commissioned the same artist to create 2 new wood ones to replace the fiberglass ones. They're thinking with Epcot's anniversary coming up, maybe they'll be ready for that. I don't know. This kind of, when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, no wonder the Canadian government's kind of annoyed at, like, stereotypes. Well, a lot of places would be, because, like, totem poles are religious significance to people.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I don't know, let's, throw some native stuff on there.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Throwing up a random fiberglass totem pole is like, yeah, look, it's Canada. It's probably not, like, maybe not religious, but, like, super culturally significant.
Yeah, it is.
And... yeah, just kind of like caricaturizing that is not in great taste.
It's not great. So I'm hoping that, that is, they're moving away from that is what I'm hoping for. Now, and this is also cool, Victoria Gardens is the other kind of attraction, like there's gardens. You walk through and you hang out in the gardens. And they're inspired by the Bouchard Gardens near Victoria, BC, and it is the largest and most labor-intensive of all national pavilions.
Because flowers are a lot of work.
Well, yeah, but other places have gardens, but they're not the Victoria Gardens. Have you ever been to the Bouchard Gardens?
I've not.
I've been there a few times, and it is insane.
Yeah.
It's all very pretty.
We're taking a road trip out near there this summer, but I don't think we're going to have time to go to the gardens.
I don't think so. They are beautiful, though, but it's like they're huge as well.
Yeah, you need to take some good time there. So that is cool. I think they should just put a roller coaster through the gardens.
Yeah, of course you do.
That'd be sweet.
No.
The Victoria Garden Smasher or something. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
No.
No?
No.
Something with a big drop and
water
effects.
No.
I don't know.
There are 2 hidden Mickeys.
Okay. Take it back. Not the Smasher. You could be like, it could be like a Crazy Mouse roller coaster. Then you're like a bumblebee going through the flowers.
Well, that's better than the Smasher, but still.
Yeah. Okay.
There are 2 hidden Mickeys. So if you're there, check out hint. Look at the steakhouse, or in the steakhouse, and look at one of the totem poles. That's where your hidden Mickeys are. And they used to have an Anne of Green Gables merch area and Beaver Tails cart, and it upsets me that they took this out. Anne of Green Gables is wonderful. And do they have anything else representing the East Coast?
No, because they also took out the like Celtic music and
Okay, so Canada is really big.
Canada is really big. Yeah.
And it's very, very distinct. Like, people talk about that in the States all the time. We can probably one-up it a little bit. Because you have, like, what you would think of as Alaska across a huge portion of Canada. You have BC and the East Coast are almost nothing alike.
Oh,
like the West Coast and the East Coast.
No,
like,
not
we are
not at all. Yeah.
This huge landmass, and everything is very, very distinct.
And then in the middle you have Manitoba. Yeah, anyway, there's a lot of differences.
There's a huge amount of differences. So, but you took out Anne of Green Gables. That's really sad.
They probably didn't have the rights to it anymore.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. But also Beaver Tails.
Yeah, that is sad. I mean, Beaver Tails are just elephant ears by a different name, but whatever.
If you were to put a food stand in here to replace Beaver Tails, what would you pick?
Oh, well, we talked about it when we were Imagineering our...
Just in case they didn't listen.
I'm just saying, you should listen to our Canada Imagineering episode.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Where we talk a little bit more about this, but they need a poutine cart.
Exactly.
Or like a full-fledged poutineery restaurant, sit-down restaurant. But
if you have not experienced poutine, I apologize because you are missing... Of course I apologize. That's so Canadian.
Sorry, eh?
Sorry, eh? You are missing out.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't have, like, quote-unquote real poutine with curds or whatever, and poutine sauce, you can, like... Gravy fries with cheese is still pretty good.
Yeah,
like,
how is that going to be a bad thing?
It's not going to be a bad thing.
How is that going to be a bad thing? We have
unless you're a heart, then it's not a good thing.
Okay, fair.
It's really hard on the heart. No, just your heart.
Just your heart. And then also, if you wanted, so if you're not in Epcot and you're like, well, I don't have time to watch a movie, and I'm not at Epcot, what else can I do that's Canadian? You can wear there were Canada Mickey ears released. Maybe you've got a pair of those. You can make a pair of those. There was a Canada Day key collectible. Those keys are big business. Thank goodness I never got into that, hey?
Yeah, I that one... Ears, I understand. That's cool. Loungefly, I understand. Nuimos, even I understand. The keys are weird. Like, what earthly purpose do the keys serve? Like, they just sit there and like... no, I don't.
Just no?
No, I'm not into the keys. I'm sorry.
I think it was last year for Canada Day the key one came out, and that one looked good. I liked that one, and I liked one of the Star Wars ones.
The Star Wars ones did look pretty cool because it was like a lightsaber-y thing, but I even then I didn't want it because I like why?
There are other things that collect us that we collect.
Sure, I
Pops.
Yeah, but Pops are cooler than just a key.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they're, and then the other collectible thing would be pins. And I have a Canada Mickey pin. It's like a Mickey head with a Canadian flag inside of it.
Pins, at least you can wear and like trade them and stuff. I'm not on board with the key thing. Sorry, I'm sorry. And I like to collect things, but
you're drawing the line at the keys.
No keys.
But maybe you saw it. Maybe you collected them. Maybe you're like, yes, I get the key thing.
Explain it to me then.
Explain it to us, because I have no problem buying Disney stuff, and even I'm like,
and they look pretty cool, but like they're really expensive, and I don't know.
Do you have any idea how many Nuimos outfits I could buy with that?
Like 2.
Okay, fair.
Nuimos are also very expensive.
That's true. But there are patches, there are pins, there are flags. I even saw they celebrated I was in Epcot. There was a cake that was the Mickey head with a Canadian flag inside of it. You know, the ears were red and there was a big maple leaf in the middle of it. So there's different things you could do like that you could recreate at home. And this one also wasn't on the list, but if you're like, well, I don't really want to watch an animated movie, how about watching Cool Runnings? Because I wanted this to have special mention.
Super duper Canadian.
Because this takes place like 2 hours from us.
it focuses on the Jamaicans, but yes.
It takes place during the Calgary
Olympics. Mm-hmm. And one of the big stars, speaking of famous Canadian comedians, is John Candy.
Yep. Treasure.
Yes.
Yeah, anything with John Candy you could watch. But this one, because it takes place, and I wanted to make special mention because this is the one that takes place the closest to us. Yes. Unless you count Brother Bear, because I guess we live in the mountains. But that's nondescript.
And they filmed it in Calgary, too, didn't they?
They did. Yeah. They, filmed it at the...
Canadian Olympic Park.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool. That was based on the 1988 Olympics.
We should go to the Canadian Olympic Park and ride the bobsleds.
I would be terrified.
Because you can do that.
Yeah, I saw a video with Rick Mercer and Jan Arden, speaking of Canadian icons, riding them. And she swore and screamed at him the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty scary. It's kind of like a roller coaster that doesn't have a real track. It's just kind of floating on ice, so...
That isn't selling it to me anymore.
Sounds awesome.
No. You mean the thing that keeps you kind of like in one place? It doesn't have that.
It also has Canada's largest zip line.
It
goes off the ski jump.
That's not helping either.
We could do that as well.
None of this stuff is helping.
It'd be great YouTube channel content.
You are not selling me. Well, you know what? You have a GoPro that you could wear, and I could film from a different angle from the ground.
No, we're gonna go bobsledding.
That is very Canadian. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, if you're like, none of the stuff is grabbing you, you may think Winnie the Pooh is completely British, but it is not. And we've talked about this before.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to talk about it again.
Mm-hmm.
Winnie the Pooh has a Canadian connection. So if you're eating your Canada Day Mickey ear cake and you don't want to watch a Canadian movie, you can watch Winnie the Pooh because it's still Canadian. So Winnie the Pooh is actually named after Winnipeg, the provincial capital of Manitoba, which you were just making fun of Manitoba.
Yes. A. Milne
yes.
Named his book and did all the writing and stuff, named after this real actual bear that they saw in a zoo, which was owned by a Canadian military person, and he named it Winnie after Winnipeg.
Right. Yeah. And so we have these Canada minutes on TV.
Well, so we have a public broadcasting, you may have heard of the BBC in England. We have our own version in Canada called the CBC, and they play these Canadian Heritage Minutes,
which are fantastic.
They are, yes, and they're basically a meme at this point.
Yeah, they are. 100%.
Like something important happens and somebody will Photoshop it in and say Canadian Heritage Minute. Yeah, but there is one about the creation of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's pretty cool.
I should put it on our Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can
link
totally
to it.
link to
Yeah,
it, definitely.
There's got to be on YouTube for sure.
Yeah, 100. Well, other ones are.
Yeah.
And it's about A.A. Milne bringing his little boy to the zoo.
Christopher Robin.
And I always see it and I get all, it's so good. Yeah,
it's Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, and then watch fireworks. They're not quite as big as 4th of July ones usually, but we do get fireworks here.
And there's more red.
There's a lot more red. Yeah. We don't do the red, white, and blue. We just mostly red. And
red.
A little bit of white. Barbecues, parades.
Crack a couple brewskis.
Yep, that's usually sitting out in the sun, having a drink, and
we're enjoying our scant 2 months of summer. So
exactly. Yeah, it's always stuff like that. So does that take us to trivia? Okay, because we need to review some trivia.
We're going to review some trivia from last week.
All right. So last week, I asked you some questions about the 80s. There were 3 questions in total. The first question was, in 1981, Disney's first animated home video was released. What was the film chosen to be released first? This is what you said.
Snow White.
I like where your mind was at. It wasn't Snow White, actually, which, I mean, would make sense.
It would make sense. It was the first one released at theaters, so why wouldn't you release it on video?
Because instead they did Dumbo.
Yeah.
Which was loved and favored.
Because everybody likes elephants unless they try to kill you when you're 5 years old.
Not that you have any trauma or personal experience with this, eh?
Just as like a random example. I'm throwing that. Yeah, okay.
Just as a random Yeah. Huh. That seems awfully specific to be a random example, Brandon.
Oh.
Have you talked about that on this podcast?
Yes, I'm sure I have. I don't know what episode, but I'm pretty sure I have.
In case you couldn't tell, Brandon was almost killed by an elephant when he was 5 years old.
Circus elephant.
Yeah.
Which, as we learned from Dumbo, is not a great place for an elephant.
Exactly.
So
really, you commiserate with
Dumbo's fine. I don't actually dislike Dumbo. Yeah. Okay.
1985, good year. Yep. Was the first Disney Saturday morning cartoons. What was the first cartoon aired on the first day in 1985 where they had Disney original Saturday morning cartoons? There are 2 options. This is what you said.
I don't know. DuckTales.
Okay. Now, I love DuckTales, and also can you say DuckTales without being like, woo? But no, that came later. The 2 options were either the Wuzzles, which I never watched.
Never even heard of that.
And then the Gummy Bears.
I have heard of the Gummy Bears.
Yeah,
They're
like
kind of like knockoff Care Bears, basically.
Bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Never watched that either. I loved the Care Bears when I was a kid. I don't know.
I love the Care Bears too.
Not
I
Gummy
liked
Bears.
Gummy Bears. I remember watching it. I watched the first couple episodes here just to kind of refresh my memory a little bit ago. And yeah. I had heard of the Wuzzles. I never watched them. And my last question for you was, Little Mermaid won the Academy Awards for Best Original Score and Best Original Song. Which song won? Now, you were a little torn, but you ended up going with...
I'll go Part of Your World, and then you're going to be like, ha, it's Under the Sea, ha, 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 ha.
And you were right.
No, I wasn't.
About the fact that as soon as we finished recording, I would point at you and laugh.
No, it was Under the Sea, ha, ha, ha.
I did it exactly like that, too.
Yeah. That's actually a recording of you saying it to me from before.
It's not.
Yeah. It's so
But
so rude.
you appreciate that Under the Sea actually won.
I think that Under the Sea is actually probably a better song, but as far as Oscars go, Part of Your World is more of an Oscar, like the big ballad. Like if you've ever watched Spamalot, there's Once in Every Show.
There comes a song like this.
Yeah, it's that Broadway diva song. So usually that's what wins the Oscar.
It usually is. I don't know if I was going to check and see if Part of Your World was nominated.
You said it was, yeah.
I think because there have been years, like for example, Lion King went up against itself a lot.
I distinctly remember there being a couple of years where there was at least 2, if not 3, songs from Disney films.
Well, that's very Disney Renaissance for you.
Because I've been trying to pick the winners since I was like 5 years old.
Right.
It was difficult because I didn't understand things back then. But that was one category that I actually paid attention to because I had watched the Disney films and it resonated with me a little more than
of course
Best Actress. But I do remember a couple years where I picked Best Supporting Actress because that was always such a crapshoot that like I had a better shot at it than my dad, who actually knew all the things.
Your dad does so well at picking Oscar winners, like, all the time.
That's his Super Bowl, so.
Yeah. Also, I now have that song from Spamalot stuck in my head, so you suck.
Spamalot is fantastic.
It's so good. Okay, so, not great with the trivia, but interesting.
Yeah, I learned some stuff, I guess. Yeah. The gummy bears, sure.
Yeah, I'm going to have trouble.
That's a good trivia. I like the Dumbo trivia, because that is super random. Like, I would have never guessed that in a million years.
Yeah.
I was between Snow White and, like, Sleeping Beauty.
Fair.
Dumbo, yeah, that's just random.
Maybe it was an anniversary of it or something.
Maybe. I don't know. That's just what that was on the top of the pile on the Disney Vault.
Maybe.
Like they actually have a legit vault where they get the stuff out. Like it's not just a thing that they use to make money. It's a real thing.
Brilliant marketing, by the way.
Oh gosh, is it ever?
Okay, so but interesting. I'm gonna have trouble coming up with 90s trivia though because we're getting to be where we were around watching all we were around in the 80s, but we were Exactly. Yeah. So it's gonna be hard to come up with one to stump ya. Are we doing trivia today, Brandon?
So, yeah, we're going to try something a little different this time.
Okay.
Instead of asking you trivia questions, I'm going to ask you a personality quiz to find out which Brother Bear character you are.
Oh, boy.
Since that is the most Canadian of all the Disney movies.
It's true.
Yes, I thought that would be kind of fun.
All right, I'm excited about this.
Like the BuzzFeed style, Cosmo magazine style.
I love
personality quiz.
Love quizzes like this. And also, I haven't watched Brother Bear in a really long time. I think I'm going to watch it this weekend or before Canada Day. And so once I find out which character I am,
you can identify with that character.
Exactly.
Okay, so question 1.
Yes.
What is your favorite kind of bear? Is it a polar bear, a grizzly bear, a panda bear, or a koala bear?
Koala bears aren't bears. They're marsupials.
That is true, but they are called a koala bear. So technically, in their taxonomy, they're not bears, but their name is bear, so it's also just a personality quiz.
I'm gonna go with koala bear then, because I just put a koala bear on my Animal Crossing island.
Oh, fair. Yes, she is very cute.
He's so cute. He's got big ears. Originally, I was gonna say panda bear, but you big ears. You're cute.
It's just a good thing their red panda bear wasn't on there.
Oh, well, that's the only correct answer.
Okay, so question 2.
Yes.
Which Arctic place would you most like to visit? Antarctica, Iceland, North Pole, or the Yukon?
Okay, I'll say Antarctica. And also, my favorite bear wasn't on that list. Where's a brown bear or black bear?
Okay.
Okay, Antarctica.
Question 3.
Okay.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Yes.
Just yes.
Oh, were there options?
Yes, there's always
go for it.
So, you do believe in a reincarnation. I believe in something, but I'm not sure what. Mm-hmm. I believe in energy. Or I believe we will never really know.
Ooh, that's hard. I think I would say we never really know.
Now, you picked your favorite type of real bear.
Yes.
Question 4, I think. I lost count. Anyway, doesn't matter. The next question.
Yeah.
Which cartoon bear do you like the most?
Okay.
Because there's a lot of cartoon bears.
Yeah.
Yogi Bear.
Okay.
Baloo. Winnie the Pooh. Or Paddington.
Okay, so I was really just going to say Winnie the Pooh, but I wasn't sure if it was on the list, which would have been dumb, but it's Winnie the Pooh. There's only one right answer to this question. Okay.
Winnie the Pooh.
I'm still torn on that reincarnation thing, but I like the Winnie the Pooh. I feel strong about that one.
Okay, here. This one might be a little tough for you. I'm gonna not give you the options and see if your
Well, you could have done that with the last one.
Selection is on the list.
Okay.
Which animated Disney film do you like the most?
Beauty and the Beast.
That is not on the. There's only 4. So, Zootopia, Tangled, The Little Mermaid, or Aladdin.
Ooh, I'm torn between 2 of those. I'm gonna say Little Mermaid, although Aladdin is right there.
Okay. Which Joaquin Phoenix film do you like the most?
Oh, boy. Okay, go ahead.
Walk the Line, I'm Still Here, Signs, or Gladiator?
I don't know if I've ever seen I'm Still Here.
I have not seen that one either. I've seen the other three for sure, but...
I mean, I don't like him in it, but Gladiator.
I mean, he plays his role very well.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not supposed to like him.
Exactly. Something concerning if you like him in that one.
Which Phil Collins song from Brother Bear soundtrack do you like the most? Three Brothers, Look Through My Eyes, No Way Out, or On My Way?
On My Way.
Yeah, that's the only one that I could actually hear in my head. So
yeah, that too.
That makes sense, I guess.
That's positive. I like positive songs.
Which wild animal would you like to see in its natural habitat?
Is red panda an option?
No, these are all very Canadian animals.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Bear.
I've seen that in its natural habitat.
Fox.
Seen that in its natural habitat.
Moose.
Definitely seen that in its natural habitat.
Or wolf.
I have not seen that in its natural habitat.
I've seen coyotes. I don't know if I've seen... I don't know.
They are in this area, but I've never
wolf
come across
just
one.
running around.
Yeah.
They're very elusive. And
yeah,
you probably
don't want to.
You probably don't want to see wolf because their pack is around as well.
Yeah, they are not like the lone wolf thing is not really a.
And they're bigger than they look.
Yes, I've seen them in person, but like in zoos and such.
Yeah.
I don't want to come across any of those out and about in the wild. Except I guess I'll say fox.
I would say fox out of this list for sure because the other three will mess you up.
Yeah, that's why I'm not picking them. People underestimate
cute.
moose all the time. I would rather usually run into a bear than a moose.
100% would rather run into a bear than a moose. Bears are a little smarter.
Like, you don't come between a mother bear and its
no,
cub. No,
like you can put yourself
really
in a bad situation with a bear.
Don't want to startle it, but moose are completely erratic.
Moose are bad news and scary.
And there are stories like around here of them like, I'm gonna charge a train. It's gonna die, but they have no.
Yeah, bull moose aren't scared of nothing.
Yeah, semis, anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so no, I'm picking fox.
Yeah,
they look you and run away.
That's a good call.
And they're
cute. They're like cute little cat dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
fox,
okay.
Definitely.
What would you like most about being a bear?
Rawr.
Hibernation.
Oh.
Eating fresh blueberries.
I do that now.
Eating fresh fish.
I do not do that now.
Or living away from humans.
I kind of do that now. It's COVID.
Yeah.
Hibernating.
What do you think might be the message of Brother Bear?
Oof, been a while since I watched it. All right.
We are all connected.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is connected. That seems like the same.
Seems a little redundant. I guess
thing.
Everything would be like every rock and tree and creature.
Like the Force.
Also like the Force. That was a line from Pocahontas, though.
Oh, I don't know. Seems like the Force to me.
Okay.
Wait, is Pocahontas a Jedi?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Don't kill bears, or reincarnation is real.
I think everything is all connected. The Force one.
The Force one?
Yeah.
Which Disney animal do you think is the most adorable? Dory, Nemo, Bambi, or Dumbo?
Probably Dumbo, actually.
Dumbo is pretty adorable.
Yeah. Bambi is also really adorable.
Two fish.
That's weird.
That is weird.
That's super weird.
I didn't write this quiz. Sorry.
Yeah. There are cuter Disney animals than that, people.
Which Berenstain Bears story do you like the most?
Okay. It's been a while since I read any of those, but all right.
The Berenstain Bears Clean House. The Berenstain
I
Bears.
did not identify with that one.
The Berenstain Bears and Too Much TV.
Well, I do identify with that one.
The Berenstain Bears Get in a Fight. Mm-hmm. Or the Berenstain Bears New Kitten.
Oh, Kitten. I don't remember that one, but they got a kitten, so definitely that one.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions in this quiz. Okay, which Beanie Baby Bear do you like the most? Garcia the Bear? Decade the Bear? Princess the Bear? Or Number One Bear?
I don't know what these are.
There's no pictures or anything, sorry.
Well,
you
one
just have
is
to go by their
named
names.
Princess. I'll go with a princess.
You'll go with a princess.
I'm a princess.
Okay. Which food from a bear's diet would you try?
Berries.
Native roots, berries, tubers, or rodents? Yeah, berries. Yeah.
There's the one I already eat. Don't pick rodents.
Which character from the Jungle Book do you like the most? Baloo, Mowgli, Kaa, or Shere Khan?
Baloo. That's the one I identify with, but you know.
Yeah, Baloo is awesome.
Yeah.
Mowgli's lame.
Mowgli is
I
lame.
never liked Mowgli in the Jungle Book. He was always my least favorite character in the Jungle Book.
He was much better in the live action.
That's true. Mm-hmm. And then the other two are villains, so...
Yeah,
Okay, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Which Rick Moranis movie do you like the most?
Okay.
Oh, do you know the best?
Oh, okay.
Not which do you like, which
right.
do you know the best.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Brother Bear, Spaceballs, or Ghostbusters?
Oh, actually Ghostbusters.
That's the one I know the most and also like the most. But
I know all four of them quite well. I was going to say actually Spaceballs, but no, Ghostbusters I know the
Spaceballs
most.
is...
That's just a reality of living with you.
So I guess he actually played his moose character?
No, they had Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. But
I don't remember the moose names, but they actually had them.
Yeah, I think it was like Rut and...
I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Should have been Bob and Doug.
Yeah. Have you ever been hunting?
Does gopher hunting count?
Yeah, you've been hunting many times, or you could never kill an animal, or you would like to try it, or you just never been.
So the animal one, I've been gopher hunting, and my dad took me, and then
you could never kill an animal.
He dropped me off at the house because I kept being bad at it and
trying to save
the gophers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I eat animals. I don't have a problem with people who hunt. I just can't be the one who does it.
Oh yeah, no, animals are delicious. I don't think I could kill an animal myself either. I don't know. Maybe that's hypocritical. Okay, this one's going to be a bit of a mouthful.
Okay,
but
go for it.
What Inuit name do you think is most beautiful?
Okay.
Azariel, Chuglak, Kavik, or Sisi?
The first one, Azariel.
Sounds almost like biblical.
Mm-hmm.
How would you stay warm in the Canadian woods? Build a fire? Have a cabin? I wouldn't go to the Canadian woods. Or you would have a warm van.
We live in the Canadian woods. The answer is cabin. You stay warm in cabins.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Duh.
Are you a good storyteller?
Yes, I think so. What's the options?
You would rather listen to stories. You're great at telling ghost stories. I'm not good at telling believable stories, or you're a good storyteller. Yeah.
I feel like I'm a good storyteller.
Well, you have 2 books in print, so, I mean, yeah. Okay.
I was going to say, maybe I'm bad at it. I don't know, but I think I'm all right.
Which bear phrase do you like the most? I'm so hungry I could eat a bear. Bear with me. Don't poke the bear. Or you're a bear in the mornings. I've literally never heard that one.
I have. So hungry you could eat a horse is the actual thing for that. But bear with me.
Who do you admire most in your family? Oh.
Uh-oh. My family listens to this sometimes. Okay, go for it.
Brother, sister, mom, or dad? Ooh, that's a tough one.
I don't know, because it's for different ways for all of them.
Yeah, of course.
The person I admire most in my family, doesn't listen to this and isn't on the list, and that would be my grandmother.
Mm.
And I don't think my family would be upset to hear that. She's ridiculously awesome.
But of these 4, you have to pick
I
one.
actually don't know. I don't, literally okay, let me think, because there's things about all of them that I admire differently.
That's fine.
I'm going to say my dad.
Okay, yeah.
I admire, and you know what it is? I really admire how hardworking he is, and I think I'm not always hardworking, so I would aspire to be more of that.
Definitely, he's definitely hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
I am less hardworking than you.
That is true. That was a terrible question.
This might be a good question for your family.
That was worse than reincarnation.
This next one might be a good question for your family, other than your dad. Do you easily offer forgiveness?
God, I hope so. Okay.
No, I prefer revenge. It takes me a while, but I do forgive. Yes, forgiveness is important, or it depends on the situation.
It depends on the situation. I would like to offer forgiveness more than I do, but I'm also a once bitten, twice shy kind of person.
Okay, this quiz just keeps going. I thought it was going to be a little shorter than this.
That's okay.
So
I'm going to edit strategically.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little faster here.
Okay, go for it.
Which kind of wild meat would you like to try?
I've eaten a lot of wild meat.
I think you've had all of these. Bear, elk, venison, or caribou.
I have eaten all of those, but I really like elk. Elk is one of my favorite meats.
Yeah, elk and caribou are very, very similar.
Very similar. Moose should have been on there. Moose is quite different.
Yeah, moose is more different, and venison is okay, but yeah, elk is the right choice on here.
Elk is the right choice.
That's the best.
I'm not a fan of bear at all.
That's the best wild game.
And I like reindeer, but reindeer tastes like elk. So.
And caribou.
Yeah.
Reindeer is a caribou.
It's a type of caribou. Yeah.
Caribou. Mm-hmm. So anyway.
Okay.
Which Brother Bear character do you like the most? Do you remember any Brother Bear characters? Oh, yeah, okay. Here, I was right. How did I know that?
What?
Okay, anyway. Brother Bear character do you like the most?
Okay.
Coda?
Okay.
Kanai? Tuck? Or Rut? And I'm pretty sure Tuck and Rut are the moose.
Pretty sure too, but I don't remember which one is which.
Doesn't matter, they're moose.
Tuck is the one I'm going to pick.
Which Disney film do you think has the best message? Frozen? The Jungle Book? Moana? Or Mulan?
Ooh. I actually really, I know, everyone is like, rah, 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 but I like the message of Frozen.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Frozen has a pretty good message. If I was picking for you, I would have guessed Mulan on this list.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I really like that one too, and that one is significant because it was the first one that really had a strong message focused on like women and everything. But
yeah.
But I like the message of Frozen in different ways. Like I like the love message between people and humans and siblings, and I also like that being yourself thing.
What is the message of Jungle Book? Like men folk bad?
Well, like fair.
Yeah, that's true. And all you need is the bare necessity. Yeah, okay. I was going to go through this faster. Okay. What would your friends describe your personality as? Serious, fun, wise, or serene?
I would hope they'd say wise, but I think they'd say serene.
I would say wise more than serene, but...
Oh, well, you would be one of my friends.
That's just me. I know you very well. You out in the world is probably more serene.
Yeah, and it wasn't what I would want them to think of me as.
Okay, here's a good one for you as a Canadian.
Oh.
What do you like most about the winter? Hibernating?
Yeah.
Snow? Woolly hats? We call them toques.
Toques.
Sweaters.
Oh, sweaters, actually.
Yeah, you love a good sweater.
A ridiculous quantity of sweaters.
Which woodland creature do you wish you would domesticate?
Oh, okay. This is cute.
Owl, wolf, deer, or squirrel?
Squirrel?
Squirrel!
Squirrel! I think they're cute.
You want to domesticate a squirrel?
Yeah. It'd be like a hamster or something.
Okay. If I was answering this question, I would definitely say an owl, so I could be like Owls in the Family.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Farley Mowat.
Farley Mowat book, yes.
There's a Canadian shout-out right there.
Exactly.
I was originally going to say deer because I was like, that'd be really cute, but yeah.
Which animal would you trade places with for a day? A dolphin? Your dog?
Dog's life is pretty sweet.
Your cat? Or a monkey?
Oh, a cat.
You want to be a cat?
I've always said I want to come back as a house cat.
A pampered house cat does have one of the best lives. If reincarnation is a thing, I want to be a pampered house cat.
Yeah, I've always said that.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go back to that reincarnation question.
Exactly. Okay, so we finally got through this.
Okay.
And your character from Brother Bear is Denai.
I don't know who that is.
If you were a character on Brother Bear, your wise ways would be only suited to Denai.
Okay.
Your ability to spin a yarn and to tell stories is one that you hope all generations will enjoy.
Oh.
You're an old soul.
Okay, that's actually true.
And you hope to pass down all the knowledge that has been passed down to you. So
I teach stories.
Your powerful stories will be oral legends for years to come.
Well, that does sound like me, actually.
That's not a bad... that was a pretty detailed quiz.
Yeah.
Not having seen this movie for a really long... I saw it when it came out in theaters, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the only time I ever saw it.
And not since then. But this character does sound like you.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I don't remember that character's
And he's got a cool spear in this picture.
Yeah, I think he's the older brother.
Oh, okay.
Who dies, and that's like a whole thing. Spurs on the thing.
Okay, don't die, though.
Okay, deal.
Okay.
But I like that description. One time we went to Disneyland, we walked in, and as we walked in, the afternoon parade was going on. And my youngest brother, and I think maybe my sister, they were with myself and my parents, and a song was playing, and I was like, this is from a Disney movie, but I can't figure out what it was. And it was a song from Brother Bear. Yeah. And they knew it, and I didn't, and I was both ashamed and proud. As one always is when the younger ones take on that. Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
That quiz was a little long. I'm sorry, but it was a...
No, it's okay, because I'm going to,
It spit out the right answer for you, I think.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. There were a couple that I was really, really torn on, and I kind of still want to go back and change a couple answers, but I like that result, so yay.
Yeah, no, I think you found the right spot.
Perfect. Awesome. So that's our show for today. Thanks to El Mule, who's responsible for our awesome custom theme song you heard at the top of the show. You can find a link to his work at our website at disneya.wixsite.com/podcast, and you can find us on social media. Instagram at disneya.podcast, on Facebook at disneya, and Twitter at disneyapodcast. Like we said, we're going to throw up that Canadian Heritage Minute up there on Facebook.
And a link to that Brother Bear quiz so you can find out what character you are as well.
Yeah, let's throw those up there. So check out Facebook to see that. You can find Disney A episodes on your favorite streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, all of them.
Those just podcasts.
Yeah. You can also listen to our newest episodes on our new YouTube channel, Adventures A. So please review our podcast, especially on Apple Podcasts, especially with 5 stars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And subscribe. If you know someone who might like this podcast, please recommend Disney A to them. You can also listen to Disney A episodes on Magic of the Mouse Radio, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. And you can listen to Magic of the Mouse Radio on Live 365, MyTuner Radio, Radio Garden, and basically all the radio station apps. You can also listen to sounds and music of Disneyland on Magic of the Mouse Radio. Join us next week. We are going to be chatting about summertime.
Ooh, I like summertime.
Well, we were just sitting out in the sun, so.
Yes, it's been a very summery day, and it's good for snowmen.
Apparently.
Yeah. In the summer.
Did we just do that at the same time?
Yes, we
nice.
did. Really out of key.
So bad. Yeah, but that was like on purpose, right?
Yeah, well, that's the only way I can sing, so. That's how it goes.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about summery Disney movies. We'll do some ranking, we'll do some chatting, that kind of stuff. Right. Probably some arguing.
Oh, wow. Always.
Yeah, definitely.
In good spirits.
So, hey, if you have a favorite Disney summer movie, that's another thing you can message us. So I'm Krysta.
And I'm Brandon.
And until the next adventure, TTFN, ta-ta. Thanks for listening to Disney A. It's like the 80s, but it happened in like 1994 because Canada didn't get the 80s till the mid-90s.
Which is only partly
Only
false.
partly, yeah.